Okay.
Hi,
Hello,
Valerie.
and welcome to Understanding Copyright Ownership for Gen AI Generated Text in ETDs, Legal Framework, and Challenges in Bangladesh. Sharing this information with you is Dr. Zola Rahman, a librarian at Asunula University of Science and Technology. My name is Valerie Emerson, and I will be your moderator for the next 50 minutes. During concurrent sessions, one session will be held in the main room and the other session will be in the breakout room. For all sessions, we will have some time at the end for discussion. A quick reminder before we begin, during the presentation portion, participants should keep your audio muted. Please feel free to use the Zoom chat tab to ask questions, which will be addressed during a discussion segment. Thank you all for joining us, and I'll turn you over to Dr. Zola Rahman.
Thank you very much, respected moderator Valerie Emerson, and the respected audience. Right now, I am watching that 10% already added into the breakout session 10. I would like to share my presentation. Please give me the. Is it okay? Okay.
Yes, it looks great. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
And Ziller, if you can go into full screen mode, that would be helpful. Yeah. If you look at the bottom of this, the bottom of the screen on the orange, the very last icon, it will do full screen display, or up at the top of the.
Just a minute.
Sure. And I do have a copy of your slides if you would prefer that I run them. So
I'm trying again to share my slides.
please proceed.
Yeah. Is it okay to, I think this is okay. Can you see my presentation slides?
Yes, we can see them. If you know how to go to full screen mode, that's fine. If not, then go ahead and proceed. Okay.
Okay. My research topic is understanding the copyright ownership for generative GenAI-generated text in ETDs, legal framework and challenges in Bangladesh. The structure of the talk that I would like to describe throughout the next 15 minutes, that is introduction and background, methodology, result, copyright ownership perspective, copyright ownership in ETDs, copyright ownership under Bangladesh Copyright Act 2000, copyright ownership in ETDs, advanced versus developing countries, result, findings, discussion, and legal framework that challenges in currently we are facing in Bangladesh. You know that the Copyright Act that introduced Bangladesh, it was last 25 years ago. And what we find that the AI introduction over the last 3 years that we had in widespread in academia, industry, and everywhere, that AI generated text has been using for their improvement in academic purpose and so many other purposes. The background of the study that Gen I, such as the generative text, that increasingly popular in academic research, particularly in the creation of electronic thesis and dissertation. But what we see that the traditionally copyright law grants that the ownership on the creative work of human author, but it's unclear who owns the right to work created by AI. This issue is uh, particularly not only important in Bangladesh, but it important all over the world. We know that as AI-generated text becomes more common, understanding and how copyright law apply to such content in it is crucial for the researchers and institution as well in Bangladesh. This study examines that the legal framework, institutional challenges, and ethical implication of copyright ownership for generative AI text in electronic thesis and dissertation. The relevances of the study's research addresses urgent legal and academic integrity challenges posed by AI-generated content in Bangladesh in higher education. And research question: who owns the copyright of AI-generated text in Bangladesh? Academic thesis and what legal reforms are needed? To do this research, actually qualitative method were used. Additionally, the research includes interview with legal experts, academics, and university officials for better understanding and particular challenges surrounding of use of AI tool in academic work. Secondary research is also conducted, review articles, legal document reports on copyright issues related to AI-generated text. Actually, what is the copyright ownership in ETDs? Actually, the copyright status of AI-generated text with electronic thesis and dissertation is a complex and unsolved issues in Bangladesh. Not only in Bangladesh, I think now in all over the world. Legally, the Copyright Act of Act 2000, it was adopted before 25 years ago, and the AI and AI tools that are being used in academic and industry and other relevance last 2 or 3 years ago, and after that the ratification or adoption of the law did not happen. This is the main cause that the AI and AI generated text issues is not solved in the Copyright Act of Bangladesh. This creates significant ambiguity over whether ownership belongs to a student, user, or AI developer, or academic institution. From an academic standpoint, attributing ownership to the student raises serious ethical concern regarding originality and constitutes plagiarism if not properly disclosed. Furthermore, the university lack clear policies to govern the use of AI in ETDs, increasing the risk of academic dishonesty and ownership dispute. This legal and institutional uncertainty ultimately undermines the academic integrity and highlights an urgent need for comprehensive legal and policy reforms. Copyright ownership under Bangladesh Copyright Act, what it describes. The Bangladesh Copyright Act 2000 establishes that the human creator of an original work is recognized as the author and it is the first owner of the copyright. Actually, this act describes that what should be the author's right and how many years and what things are to be covered. All the matters has been clearly described in the copyright issues and not even cover the digital content. Ownership can also transfer from the author to employer or commissioning party if the work is created under the specific contract or the course of employment. The law grant author exclusive economic right, including the rights to produce, the distribute, adapt, and publicly communicate the work. Consequently, work generated by the machine or artificial intelligence are not generated in a legal recognition or copyright protection under this framework. This creates a significant legal gap that falls to address the ownership of content created by modern technology like generative AI. The current law is therefore ill-equipped for the digital age and highlights a pressing need for legislative reform to accommodate non-human authorship. The research found that the current copyright law in Bangladesh do not specifically address the issues content created by AI. According to the Copyright Act of 2000, only human creators are recognized as author, leaving the gap in law when it comes to work generated by the machine. Furthermore, many universities in Bangladesh do not have their clear policies for handling AI-generated text in ETDs, which could lead to issues like plagiarism and uh, unintentional copyright violation. Additionally, plagiarism detection system in Bangladesh academic institutions are often not equipped to identify AI-generated content, making it difficult to enforce copyright law and uphold academic standards. Copyright ownership in ETDs in advanced versus developing countries. From the study, USA, US, UK, and EU nations that revealed that the issues is very the both the advanced and developing countries for the same core legal problem of the human authorship requirement. Advanced countries are focused on managing and ethically increasing AI through policy and technology, while developing countries are struggling with complete lack of preparedness and foundational framework. Bangladesh Copyright Act 2000 does not recognize all AI as an author or a creator, which is a legal word. Existing the research integrated detection tools are effective in identifying AI-generated content. The ambiguity undermines academic integrity and creates uncertainty for students and the thesis supervisors. There is an urgent need for legal reform to explicitly address AI-generated works. Institutional guidelines and advanced detection technology are critically need to be uphold standards. What are the legal challenges and in GenAI content it is in Bangladesh? The first of all is human-created law, human-centered law. Then ambiguity in authorship, academic integrity concern, institutional authorship issues, detection limitation, urgent reform needs. If we look into the human-centered law, the Bangladesh Copyright Act 2000 identify only human creator and copyright owners. AI-generated text in excluded, leaving a legal gap for ETD produced with Gen AI. Academic integrity concerns the absence of explicit institutional policies on Gen AI issues, increased risk of plagiarism and misattribution, and ethical breaches in academic submission. The detection limitation plagiarism detection system in Bangladesh are not designed to identify AI-generated outputs, making it difficult to monitor originality. We sometimes adopt and use Turnitin and some other tools to identify the research integrity. And it recently being used by the academic institutions, including my university, and we are trying to develop rules and regulation for the students to submit theses and dissertation. And recently, our academic council and a syndicate, they are endorsing, and they are uh, certifying the issues for the AI generated text. The conclusion and recommendation, as I early said, that we need legal reformation as early as possible. I think if the elected government in next parliament, these issues can be solved, and in my recommendation that legal frame reformation as early as it is needed. Institutional policies should be developed, capacity building on using this kind of works, and technology integration, academic transparency, collaborative governance, all are the necessary for recognition giving to AI generated text. Uh, yeah, if this all these works are being completed, then I concretely say that the AI generated text should be given to a authorship to the not only to the human creator, but also the machine creator also. Thank you very much for passion sharing. Yeah, moderator. Yeah, Valerie Emerson. This is the end of my presentation. If anyone has the question, please ask me. John, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm waiting for Valerie to go ahead and respond. Thank you.
Yeah.
She's
Yes,
our moderator.
I do not see any questions in the chat. Does anyone have any questions?
Or we can also feel free to raise our hands if you would like to unmute
Yes,
your
of
video.
course.
It's absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving me this chance to present my paper, and I wish all the success in coming breakout sessions. Yeah, one question that session, John Hagen, that understanding copyright ownership for legal framework challenges in Bangladesh. Yeah.
So I was curious what implications your research in terms of your findings in Bangladesh and how can we say anything outside of Bangladesh, maybe at large, some general statements about Europe, United States, or other places in the world in terms of AI and copyright?
Uh, Actually, this issues is not only the question, burning question in Bangladesh. I think this question is evolving around the world, not only the developing country, but also in advanced countries also. You know that uh, we give copyright authorship to the creator in to the human, as we know the student, the institution, and the person and the association that creates that content. But the question is that in generative AI, the content is being created with AI tool, then who will be the author of this content? The Gen AI creator, or the machine itself, or the search engine, or some other background that accumulate this information within a second? This is a long debate to discuss that if we want to give authorship to a particular person or machine or the creator, we need to set some uh, mm, some benchmark, or some uh, uh, as we know that to give the person will control or the benefit from that copyright or that authorship or that uh, the privilege that has been given to him. But in machine generated or AI generated tools, the problem is critical that it uses the sources from different sources. It takes text from the big database. It takes text from the authors, text from the books, text from the many other places, and there is no proper citation and guidelines. In that case, if the machine is given copyright to the content creator, that it I think from my perspective and from this research, I found that this will create some problem that will not be able to recognize the original contributor of that text. So from this point of view, I think that this is a debatable issues, and it is to be solved within the discussion with the law experts and uh, the government and the institution and the software industry and the scientist all together. With a group discussion, it can be solved. John.
Yes, that makes very much sense. So I have a follow-up question, or maybe an observation. I noticed when I was using an application in Adobe Express, it was one of their artificial intelligence applications to create new images. And you can part of the process you can furnish your own image, and then it can use that as the basis to create a new image. However, in I found in Adobe Express, the application asked if you have copyright ownership of the graphic before it lets you upload it to use the AI application. Now, when I went to use the same process in Google Gemini and their AI, it did not ask at all for, if I own the copyright image. It just ingested it and sent back several options of what it thought I was wanting based on my text prompt of creating a similar image. So I think as the process goes along and as things evolve, some AI providers are incorporating copyright restrictions or at least some acknowledgement of that in the process before they let you use the application. And some others, like Google Gemini, at least for the moment, is they don't ask any questions. So they don't care apparently, or they have not implemented a policy. I don't know what the situation is, but I just thought it was interesting to share with you that already we're seeing some sort of controls at some level implemented by the industry.
Yes, thank you. Uh, as you mentioned that the graphs or the that has been creating by using AI technology, and actually what it works, as I understand that the AI, it takes all things from different sources to create a image or a result or a text to generate, and from that point of view, if it takes from different sources, it should duly acknowledge to their sources or proper citation. Otherwise, I think sometimes it though the result is very presenting us to in a very unique way, but it if the content is being taken from some other places, the machine, what they can do, w- as we instruct him accordingly, the machine does that. But it takes some all things from different sources. If we want to proper citation to that content, we need to be trace out the original sources that it has been taken. So if it is not done, then the good image or the that it makes sense to us, and it will be a debatable question to everyone that who is the owner of this content. So I think this is a big question, and how to solve. I think the legal experts will be able to elaborately, explicitly can present to us that who will be the owner of this content.
Yes, I would agree, and I think that is the essential point, the legal framework. And particularly, I see Adobe's intervention in requesting if you have copyright ownership of the image before it will let you ingest it, is acknowledgement of maybe some sort of legal liability that they do not want to assume, or at least a copyright protection. I'm not sure who they're protecting, maybe the original artist as well, one would hope. But anyway, the end result is that there is some sort of restriction or at least acknowledgement going into that process. Whereas it's interesting with Google, they have not reached that point. And I suspect that anything that you contribute, just whether it be text or images, goes into their ginormous database of things that they can use when people want to create additional AI requests like that. I think that's just the nature of the AI, is it ingests and sucks in all the knowledge and information it can, free or otherwise.
Uh, yes. Thank you very much for sharing with us your valuable thinking, and uh, as we are, I am not a legal expert. Actually, the 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 thing that the law, how it writes the ownership of the content, how it creates the impact on the on the digital content or AI generated content. Actually, I have no clear idea about it. I think if from my investigation, when I talked with the legal expert, actually they informed me that this is a very crucial and seriously debatable issue to clear that the who is the author or who will be the owner of this content. Uh, John, uh, if I am not clear, I'm sorry.
No, no, no. I think that perfectly answers it. And you're fully transparent. You're not a lawyer, but maybe you could play one on TV. I'm just kidding. But anyway, no, you do have a good, I think, perception of what's happening. And we need to rely upon our legal experts, maybe within our university settings, intellectual property experts, copyright and patent specialists, and so forth. Typically, every university has an office that handles intellectual property issues. And I think with libraries, maybe in graduate schools, working in conjunction with their legal experts, they can come up with adequate policies. And we've seen this in some of the other presentations, for example, with the University of Iowa, and they have some excellent resources and policy recommendations to handle various aspects of artificial intelligence. But it is a very quickly, as we know, a very quickly evolving landscape.
Yes, this is happening quickly in my university already, or the university administration. They opened a cell to deal with this kind of content and the issues that coming up uh, toward us, because students are they creating their theses and they submit sometimes without checking the similarity with using different kind of tools. but sometimes we uh, face some other issues that the students, they're just copying from other sources, but they don't acknowledge it. Uh, to protect all this, the university has opened a cell, administrative cell, to look after into the matter, and they are trying to develop some important rules and regulation for the students. And last month, I submitted on my comment for the library, from the library, that what should be the process of thesis submission using the checking from the similarity text, and the research integrity should be ensured, and the property that the student that have introduced and they developed, that should be the sole authorship to the funded organization, or it should be to the university or to the student. That all this can be solved uh, um, through one administrative unit. Uh, Viewing this point, my university has set up yeah, legal and the issues that comes to solve all these problems related to the students. Yeah, John.
Valerie, do we have anything in the chat,
I was
any
just
comments?
No, nothing in the chat. I was just going to ask if anybody had any thoughts they would like to share or have any questions they'd like to ask. You can raise your hand.
While we're waiting for people to be bold and raise their hand, I have a kind of follow-up, maybe observation, but you mentioned about plagiarism checking, and I think that there are two schools of thought. For example, when people use the system called Turnitin, and that has a plagiarism detection, system, works fairly well. However, some schools do not want to send their student works and add to that collection, because then that becomes useful for other people to create new artificial intelligence created work, derived works out of that material that their students worked very hard to produce. Um, and so some schools have said we're not going to even contribute to that, and other schools are, of the thought that, well, at least that will help us to try to detect, some level of plagiarism that our students may be doing and we may not be aware of. And so there's always a trade-off there. But it seems to me that's the typical line of thinking. It's either they don't want to use it at all because of the copyright concerns, or that they think this is still a very useful tool, and they're not very worried that the content that they provide will become useful for other people to author in artificial intelligence applications.
Uh, in my university, we have been using Turnitin for last couple of years, and before introducing Turnitin in my university, all the thesis that we currently have in my library, when I talked to my administration that that recently I have joined this university from independent university to Asanola University, and after joining, I discussed with the authority uh, to digitize all the conventional ETDs, TDs, thesis and dissertation that is in currently having my university, and they told me that actually many of these theses was not checked with the plagiarism checking tools like Turnitin, Drillbit, or some other um, popular tools, and sometimes it may be copying from other sources, but not properly acknowledged. And my authority stopped me not to do as a whole to digitize all the hard ETDs. And from this expression, it is very clear that the before using the Turnitin or some other tools, it might happen among the students that they are not serious about the research integrity, and sometimes the faculty members, they are also very reluctant to use this plagiarism checker. Uh, this is not in previous practice, but in recently we also we can see that the faculty members are very reluctant to using this kind of tools. And I started in my office, not only me, my support staff also. We are giving the service to the students for checking research integrity using some kind of tools. And this is growing the way awareness among the students and the faculty members that if we want to publish this content to in a reputed journal, it should be uh, checked through similarity checking tools or plagiarism detection tool, so that it can be published in many journals or the reputed journals. Yeah, John.
Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Does anyone else have a question, comment? Please feel free to raise your hand. So we have a comment here, no questions at the moment, but I very much appreciate the discussion.
Thank you once again, Valerie and John. That right now in Bangladesh it is midnight, and the whole country is now in under deep sleep. And actually, I would like to congratulate this successful event that I have been joining last 10 years. And also, I would like to acknowledge the USETD that has been successfully organizing 15th conference associated with the NDLTD. And I would like to thank the organizing team and everyone associated with this symposium to complete successfully.
Well, we very much appreciate your discussion on AI and copyright.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much, Ziller, and for the kudos on our 15th anniversary as well. I'll just mention Dr. Rahman will be back with us at 6:40 p.m. Eastern, God willing, to join us for his additional
Yes,
breakout
yes, yeah,
presentation.
and I would like to also acknowledge my next moderator, John Hagen. Okay, waiting for next session.
So, yes, absolutely. Check your email. I sent you an email and a tip on how to go full screen for your next session. So, Valerie, I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, so thank you all so very much for joining this session. The next sessions that start at 5:40 p.m. In the main room will be ETD Administrator User Group meeting. And in the breakout room, it will be ETD Formatting Users Group meeting. That's at 5:40. Thank you all so very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.